Okay, let's talk about making a menu. So one of the first things you might want to decide is how big your piece of paper is, right? How big your menu is. Right now, this is just an 8.5 by 11, just a regular sheet of paper. Maybe that's big enough for you. But if you want, you can make changes to it. You can go to layout here and go to paper size, and they'll give you some ideas here. And this is just a bit of a longer piece of paper. Maybe you want your paper on its side, so you can change the orientation and turn it sideways, and so you'd have something over here with kind of a fold in the middle. So whatever works for you, you can make some choices about your paper there. I'm just going to stick with a regular sheet of paper for now. So after you got your paper size, maybe a lot of people make logos. I'll show you a logo here, a logo from another student here, right here. Like a little logo, your name of the place and maybe a little, whatever, a little piece of art or something. So we should talk about pictures and text as well. So so yeah, obviously it's you can put in text by just going insert and then text box would be probably the fastest way, because if I just start typing, it'll kind of locks your text right here. But if I can insert a text box and start typing in here, Brian's restaurant, or I don't know what a good name is, Brian's eatery, then I can start to think about moving it around. As soon as I click on a text box, or if I insert an image, it pops up this little spot over here. And so usually when I insert an image, it's right here in line with text. It thinks it's just like a letter, like a letter A or something like that. Like right now, there's a letter A. You can't just grab it and move it around. It's kind of stuck right there. So when I insert a picture, it'll behave like that A. So sometimes you need to click here and then say, what do you want to do with the picture? Sometimes you want words to wrap around your picture like this, tight or in a square. Sometimes you want it free floating, and that would be in front of the text. So if I click this, I can move this text box. So even if I had typing up here, I could move this text box right on top of it, and it won't push that writing around at all. But as soon as I click this and say, oh, make the writing wrap, then the writing's going to start to wrap around this picture, so that if even if I was typing, the picture could never, the picture or the text box can't hide. It's kind of moves it around. The writing moves around this image. You see how it's moving it around? Okay, so those are some of the different features there. But anyway, that's one way to create text that you can move around the place. And obviously you can, change how big things are up here and change the color of text. You can choose any color that you want and center things if you want. Make it bold. And now there's a box around this. If I don't want that box, I can click on it, or sorry, right click on it, format this shape, and I can take off this line. See, there's a fill inside. I can say no fill if I want to see through it, but the line, I can remove that line if I want to. Okay, so I'm actually going to yeah, I don't really need any of this text in here right now. So let's talk about images just quickly here while I get rid of some of this text. So we have to remember that when we're at school, we can use whatever images we want, kind of in the name of learning. But when you get in the real world, you're not allowed to just use any image you want. So let's go to Google here. I think everybody's familiar with looking for an image on Google. So let's say I'm just going to type in the word food for no reason. And then I go to images like this. Everybody's done this. So all kinds of images pop up for food. So one thing I can think of is when I hover over an image, it's giving me these little numbers at the bottom, 2700 by 1800. Those are pixels. So this picture right here is very high quality. So if I was giving a presentation, for example, and I put this picture on a big screen, like blow it up really big, this would be a great picture for that. It would work just fine. But this one, 780 by 438, if I blew this up on a big screen, it would have blurry edges. I'd probably be able to tell it was a low quality image. But if I wanted to put this hot dog picture on a little piece of paper and not have a very big picture, it might still work. So you can kind of see how big and small pictures are. This is a fabulous picture, and this one's a little lower quality. But when you leave ACC, you're not allowed to just, like if I click on this picture, it says right here, images may be subject to copyright. So I need to make sure I'm finding free images, especially when I leave school. So if I click on Tools and then Usage Rights, right now we can tell none of these pictures below are being filtered at all. It's looking for any and every picture. But the next one says I can reuse the picture and I can make changes to the picture if I want. And that's a really nice one if I want to crop a picture or recolor it, or maybe write on top of the picture, add some things on top of it. That's a good one to use. This one says reuse it but don't make changes. This one says go ahead and reuse it and make changes, as long as you're not making money off of the picture. So you can't resell the picture or anything like that. So I'm going to pick this one right here. I want to reuse it and maybe make some changes. So now I know that these pictures are okay to reuse. And maybe food is too general, like you want to type in something like coffee instead and get more specific pictures, but it's still saying that it's reusing them here. So let's say I want to grab, that's a really high quality picture, but I'm just making a little logo maybe. So maybe this one here, I'm just going to take this picture and I want to use this coffee cup in this picture. I'm going to have to right click and save this. Saving the image is the best idea. Right click and save it so that I can use it. Oh, actually, I'm gonna go with this picture. I think this one here is better for me. Okay, so yeah, right click that picture, save that image. I'm gonna save it to my downloads. Coffee, good, save. Okay, now back in Microsoft Word, if I insert this picture, insert pictures, and I remember I put it in my downloads, right there, coffee cup. Now I can. What's the settings at? Yeah, in line with text. It thinks that it's just a regular. It won't move. If I drag this around, it won't move. So I'm gonna probably want to change that, and it's really big. Okay, so I'm gonna make this smaller maybe, and maybe the the words. Oh, I need to free float this one probably. Get it in front so that I can just grab it and move it. And now I'm just making a little logo. Right, and maybe you want a box around it, so I'm going to insert a shape and get a square and draw a square. Maybe you want a square around your logo like this, and so I just need to take off the fill, say no fill, and I do want a line, maybe a line, and I can pick how thick I want this line to be. Okay, now that's the idea behind a logo. So let's say I want to select, I can select all these, because if I try and move them now, they're all separate like this, and so I want to get all of them at once. Let me just undo that real quick. So I want to select all of them at once. So I'm just under Home here. There's a select tool, select objects, and I can just draw a box around and it'll select them all. And then I want to group them. So if I right click on top, I should be able to group them all together, and now it's just one object, and I can move it kind of wherever I want on my menu. Okay, some people want to put images on the background of a menu, and you can take a look at some of the different menus that we have here. Like there's some wood in the background, and it kind of looks okay. I think, let's see. Is it this one? Yeah, see, this wood is all in these squares like this, and so that doesn't look as good to me. But if you're going to put something in, oops, there's the feedback. If you're going to put something in the background, that's, just a plain background. You can do that, it's fine. So all you got to do here, it's under Design and then Page Color drop down. And you can do colors, obviously. You can put colors in the background, but there's also Fill Effects. I'm just going to close this over here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can do pictures here in the background. So if I was to select that coffee cup, I put it in my downloads, it's probably going to, let's say okay to that. Oh yeah, so you got to be careful what picture you select. You're probably going to want to, and it's starting to double up that picture because it's not big enough. And so you're going to be careful of what kind of picture you put in the background. Obviously, that's a bad choice for a background. Okay, so you got your logo. Adding text is just adding text boxes, and you can type in those text boxes. And yeah, I think we talked about images. So give that a try, and let me know if you have any questions, and we'll work together on that. We can set up a time to meet if you need to.